Okay, we are live. This is Sane African TV. You know, and we're playing. We're not even playing. We're doing Let's Ask an African. And we are. I'm African. I'm American African. You know, by way of the slave trade. And we're here with a continental. Can you start us with telling us your name, please?
Arrow.
Okay, we're here with Arrow, the African. Okay, and you're African, Arrow?
I'm very African. I'm as African as it comes.
Okay, we as African as it comes. I love it. So, where in Africa are you from?
Rwanda.
Rwanda. Can you tell us where is that located?
Where is it located?
Yes.
It's in East Africa, like right by Tanzania and Burundi. It's on Tanzania actually.
Okay, so you're East African.
I'm very East African, yeah.
All right, now I have a question. You say you're East African, but forgive me for disrespect, but you're dark skinned. I thought East Africans were like brown, or you know, usually that's what we see in America. So can you explain that to us? Cause like,
so the East Africans you see are what? Somalians, Ethiopians, Eritrean?
Yeah, that's usually all we hear.
Well, there's Burundians, Tanzanians, Ugandans, Kenyans, and Rwandans.
Okay.
If I forgot some Djiboutians or some shit. But yeah, we are black.
Okay, so we do have black East Africans, not just hybridized East Africans.
Black East Africans. This one.
Okay, I'm glad you said that, because usually when we hear East African, we think of an Ethiopian or Eritrean. We don't ever hear about Burundis, Tanzanians, Kenyans. You know, so that's why it's beautiful that you're doing us, you're helping us out today, because you're giving us some clarity to show that all East Africans are not mixed people. We actually have real live Africans with brown or black skin and wonderful African textured hair, you know, that meet the code. So we appreciate you today, Arrow. So with that said, I got a few questions for you.
Okay.
All right, so there's this big, let's say, conscious movement. Are you familiar with the conscious movement of going on in America?
Those crazy people, yeah.
Those crazy people.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Why do you call them crazy?
I don't think I can think of another way to describe them. They're crazy. I don't know where they get their shit from, but excuse my language.
No, please, express yourself. This is what we do. This is no filter. This is Sane African. Okay, so what things do they do that you would call them crazy? Like, please give us some examples.
Wait, is the Israelites type of shit?
They included too. Israelites, Moors, who else? Pan-Africans as well are included. Pan-Africans don't think they're included in it, but they are. They're just another offshoot group.
They don't know what being Pan-African means.
Ooh, say that one more time.
They don't know what being Pan-African means.
Do you think they even know what being an African means?
They don't know. None of them. Okay, so this is not even about the camera being here, but honestly though, if you ask either one of those people that are always talking about Pan-Africanism or anything like that, if you ask them how long they've been doing that shit, they'll say maybe 5 years or over. And they ask them how many times they've been to Africa. So how the fuck are you a Pan-Africanist and you've never been here? What are you doing? It's like saying I'm a professor, but you've never been. You don't have no qualifications to be a professor.
Or taught a class. I agree. You know, and which is funny thing you say that many of them they give lectures. They give lectures, you know, on to their followers.
Oh, that's it.
Online.
That's it.
I agree.
There's so many stupid people out there today.
I agree. So it's like, how can you give lectures if you have not really been deemed a person a lecturer, deemed qualified in your studies? But sorry, this is your interview. I'm interjecting too much. Okay, so back to my question. What do you think? What did you say are some of the crazy things they do? Would you call them crazy?
Recently, you showed me the video actually. The one with this dude was saying, "Oh, nice, what the." Okay, so he was like this dude who looked like he's a mixed person. He's not black at all.
Definitely.
He's not black at all. He's mixed, and he was standing with 5 delusional black people behind him, and he was insulting our skin. And those black people were standing next to him, they were with him, and they look exactly like me. So how the fuck? What?
So you mean that mean what? You have pork chop skin?
I have pork chops. He said Africans had pork chop sticky skin, and they have they say that our skin is like the elephant's, you know, like the elephant skin.
Rough. So, what do you think? Why do you think they call us that? Like, why do you think they label us by skin color?
They're stupid. There's no other explanation. I don't know. Like,
Do you feel that it's a way for them to like write themselves into our race by saying you're a dark version and I'm a light version?
Yeah. Actually, just before I met you, actually. So thank you. Yeah, before I met you, I was not ignorant too. I used to be like so many shades of black, all that, you know.
We come in all colors.
Yeah, we come in all colors. But then I feel like being African, being black. So first of all, if both your parents are black, then you're black.
I agree.
But if one of them is mixed, you're not black.
Right.
If your grandfather is mixed or is white or something like that, you're still not black. I'm just saying.
So go ahead.
All that shit. Ooh.
So that lets me, if one of those people, you know, a light skinned person, or you know, they call them in America. If they were to come to Africa, what would the Africans call them?
White.
No, repeat that. They would call them what?
White.
They wouldn't deem them an African, right?
Hell no, no. No African's gonna call you African when you don't look African. What the fuck? You know, like. And I like your question previous, which I did not really answer at all. Like when people call us that, they call us by color, like you're dark black or you're light skin or this. I feel like they're making an excuse to include themselves in the
group.
Yeah, in the group of
Right.
Africans, but you're not African.
Right. And do you feel like when they include themselves in the group, why is it that we are deemed unreasonable? Do you seem like we always left on the bottom when they come in the group?
Of course we do. Because of course we are. Of course.
So with that said, what do you think about colorism? Do you think colorism is a fallacy?
Colorism.
Because some people.
I just think
Go ahead.
I feel like colorism is something that exists because of this stupidity of saying we're light skin or dark skin, and then you take all those two and then you pretend that's one group of people. But then we're so. I feel, if you just let black people be black, like let us just be. If we're just black and you let us be black on our own, we wouldn't have that issue. But we all black.
I agree. I think if a person that looked like you, not saying. This is my good friend. We're not dating. So if a person that looked like you and looked like me, if we procreated all the time, we wouldn't have this problem of colorism, right? Because, and I'll have to say this: the pictures you took of, you know, and his family. When I seen him, it is a perfect representation. As you see, there is no color change in all of his kids. They all look like him. And when you put them next to each other, you can see that we will not produce no change in color. We produce ourselves, and that's why we have to keep this family black. You know what I'm saying?
Agreed.
But we're getting on a low battery. But we're gonna still ask some more questions. So, what do you is Hinduism and spirit is Hinduism? No. Let me say it. Are chakras African?
No, they're not.
Okay,
so
go ahead.
This conscious community, the reason I say they're crazy and stupid is because they try to think they're so conscious, then they gather pieces of other cultures from all over the world and they say that's African. It's not. We don't do that shit in Africa.
Okay.
That's not African.
So what do you say to a person who says they're African but they have a Buddha, but they pray to Buddha or an Indian god on their altar?
Look, do you? Okay, we have Africans here who are worshiping white Jesus. I understand, but do not say that shit is African culture because it's not.
So do you think a person that claims to be African in mind but still worships a Buddha or a Krishna or chakras, or you know, they're playing with crystals, and honestly, would they be on the same level as the Christian and the Muslim they castigate so much?
I want to say yes, but I feel like they're way too colonized to even be there. I feel like Christians and Muslims, African Christians and Muslims are colonized, hella colonized. But then when these people, I feel like these people do worse because they gather every single piece and put together and claim that's African. So no, you're worse. Yeah.
I agree. Do you feel that they are like searching and reaching for an identity that they do not want to study and understand?
You know, when you say, I heard of a saying, I don't remember what it's called, but it goes something like sometimes you look so hard and you miss the thing right in front of you. Yeah. People are going, you're going to India, Africa is right here. going to India, China, all that type of shit, gathering stuff. While Africa has all that, and you say you're African, how?
Right, because some people will say, well, we birthed all those things, and
they don't look like you.
They don't look like us, and that can be true in a concept wise. However, if we did birth and were the original, wouldn't it be just logical to come back home to Mama Africa instead of praising Indians and
Talking about creating things, no, you didn't.
Right. Okay. So what about is astrology African? Is astrology African? Do we deal with zodiac signs? Like does that tell our future?
No, that shit is crazy. Let me tell you, the first time I heard about this zodiac shit is when I came to the States, like 7 years ago. I lived in Africa all my fucking life until 2012 when I moved to the States, and everybody was doing that shit. Like, what was that? And everybody's like, my zodiac sign says this. I swear, I don't understand how that. But I've studied African history. I've studied my culture personally, my Rwandan culture. I've studied deeply where we came from.
So you have a real African culture, like you was born in the one. You wasn't just, you just didn't find one off watching a movie.
I know my ancestors' God's name. I'm not saying it though, out of respect.
Don't share that with us. Some of us ain't worthy of that.
Sacred.
Right. Then they need to go. They need to study, right?
Yeah, I sure do.
So we appreciate you for answering these questions. Like I say wholeheartedly that we need to reclaim our African sanity, and this is why I do what I do, and I appreciate you for coming on and answering a few questions to get us some clarity. It is best that we go to the source and ask an African, because we are maybe Africans, but things have been taken from us, and we may not just know, and we have to be humble enough to say we may not just know. Let's ask somebody who was born there, who knows their culture, and is a bit sound-minded. So we appreciate you, Arrow.
Thank you. Also, shout out to you for coming all the way here. Where are we at?
We're in Uganda.
We're in Uganda, right?
Yes.
Yes. So
Kampala right now.
you for coming all this way.
Also, with that, since we are in Uganda, we walked around Kampala today, and we stayed in a nice place, in a nice rural area where people like us, and we've been here almost about 2 weeks, right? Have you seen any light-skinned Africans?
Yeah, matter of fact, we've been doing. I posted a Facebook post earlier. I was like, we've been doing this shit since we got here, looking around. We haven't seen not one.
Not one.
We haven't been to. It's not like we're in one place. We've been to the capital city, the city next to this one, and the village after that, and we've been all over the place. The only we found were albinos.
Yeah, we found about 5.
About 5, yeah.
We've seen about 5 of them, children and adults.
So dear world, there's nothing like a light-skinned African.
And we wouldn't call them a light-skinned African. We call them what they are, albinos, which just means they just don't have melanin. They're still our people.
They're black African.
Which is why they were still there amongst the people, not being stared at. They were just moving around.
Oh, they just move. Yeah, they're just as human as human can be.
Yes, they're African as African can be.
Exactly. And
but if you think a quote unquote light skinned person in America would have came by, would they get that same reaction?
Nope, they'll be white people.
They'll be white, or they'll call them colored, right?
Yeah, colors in South Africa. Here they call white.
Okay, they call them white man. It works for me. I call them that in America. So let me ask you: Is Malcolm X a black man?
No.
Is Huey P. Newton a black man?
No.
Okay. Is Tracy Ellis Ross a black woman?
Forgive me, but who the fuck is that?
Don't even matter. She she be on Blackish.
The lady.
Yes, with the big eyes.
Rainbow.
I think so.
Rose. I'm Amber Rose. Not Amber Rose, fuck.
Is Amber Rose an African?
The lady. No, fuck. No, hell no.
Okay.
You know the lady. Rose child. That's what you're talking about. I know you're talking about.
Did you?
No, her mom. What's her name? Mom name?
Diana Ross.
Diana Ross.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. The big eyes.
Okay, yeah, she's not. No.
Okay, wonderful.
This is what. Is she African or is she black?
I wouldn't call either.
Yeah, that's what I was.
Okay, last question.
Yeah.
How about Beyonce?
No.
Can I say?
Please, go ahead. Please, don't mind us. I appreciate Errol for coming on and doing this. I love it. I thank you for participating in this.
It was fun.
I love it. I love you. Thank you, my friend, my African friend. I hold that line. Can we get a
Black belt.
that's what I'm talking about. Any final words you gonna leave us with, or me?
These are black and African look like.
Tell her, what do we look like?
That like these.
That is an authentic African right there. We got, look, touch that hair. Is that black or brown skin and African textured hair? Oh man.
This is a pork chop.
This is pork chop skin. Okay, and we signing out on that. This is Sane African TV. Basically, we are reclaiming our African sanity. There's no let up to the sun burnout, and we only praising authentic Africans. If you 4 black grandparents, 2 black parents, and by we mean black, we mean African textured hair, brown and black skin. No high risk speak for us. This is Sane African TV, and we want to share. At the end of the day, we have no malice towards these people. We have no hate. We have no dislike. We are just trying to preserve the racial integrity of our group and make sure that when little babies that look like us rise up and be born, they have the self-esteem to combat everything that comes against them for being who they are and looking like what they look like. We are Africans at the end of the day. So with that, we signing out. Holla at your boy.